Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay, back to the video. And in this video, I'll be doing an overview of Batman, the HellBat Suit. This is from the, I believe it's the Batman and Robin storyline, if I remember correctly. As always, I'll be talking about the figure itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's worth your purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to know how to support the channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at the front of the box. This side. The back, which you can tell this is an old figure, because look at that. It has Harley Quinn on there in the box. See that? And Green Arrow, and of course, the animated Green Lantern and Batman 1000. Anyway, so the other side, top, and bottom. Alright, now let's take a look at the figure outside the box. As always, they do come with a card. This is the front of the card looks like. The back of the card. And also, I'll be showing you the gold edition card. So, the front of the card looks like. And my camera can... There you go. The back of the card. And just for comparison, you guys can see both of them side by side. Here they are. Both of them side by side. And you can tell which one's the older version, because the older version is going to be a lot thicker. And you can see that right there. It's a lot thicker compared to the newer one. And this figure does come with wings, which he doesn't have it on, but it did come with wings. It's just two black wings put in the back of the figure, which I'll show you in a bit. Open up like so. You can have that kind of look in the back like that, or you can have it closed. So, just showing you. And again, there's two of them. Alright? Now, let's take a look at this figure. We'll start off with the articulation. Oh, it comes with a regular puck. So, head articulation. Left, right. Ooh, left, right is very stiff, but you can articulate it. Not a whole lot, though. Up, down. Not a whole lot of articulation. Up, down, but it's... Yeah, not a whole lot. It's unfortunate, but it's all good nonetheless. Shoulder articulation, good. Bicep, good. Elbows, ooh, it's a little stiff, but good. Wrist, good. Torso, yeah, not a whole lot of torso articulation. And the wrist twist, I'll give you that. So overall, the upper body articulation, it's not the greatest, but it does the job. But then again, this is a very, like, hulky-ish, big, armored figure, so maybe that's why. Leg articulation, good. Knees, ooh, it's a little stiff right now. Good. Oof. Ankles, good. And toes, yeah, they do articulate. Ooh, this is very, very stiff figure. They do articulate, it's just very stiff right now. But they do articulate, though. So low articulation, it's good always with McFarlane. It's just that mine's really, really stiff, and it gives an older figure. Now let's talk about the figure, because wow, right away this head sculpture, it's a nice looking, creepy looking, well not creepy, but very armored like, something that Batman would have as an armor. Look at that, look at all of that head sculpture. It's very clean looking, very like armored, but you can really feel like it's really thick. If that makes any sense. Then you got this little piece on here. I like the paint job on it where it's like a charcoal gray. You can see that right there, little sculpture design there. You got more in the back there as well too. Let me see if my camera can move a little bit. There we go. More right there. There you go. You got more sculpture design underneath right here on the neck. More sculpture design there on the side. Very subtle, but you can see it right there perfectly. Very good looking head sculpture design. Just look at all this detail in the back. It looks really, really, really good. Unfortunately, though, it's not bad what I want to say, but the glossy black, I think it's a bit of a disservice because it looks too much where the glossy black makes it look very messy, if that makes any sense. It's not bad or anything, it just looks a bit messy. I don't know if you guys can see that, because there's a lot of sculpture design right here, but since it's all glossy black, it just looks a little too messy. Again, it's not bad, it's just, there's that. Then they got the huge, huge shoulder armor. Look at that, and the spikes on there too. Look at that, that looks so sweet. Something, again, that Batman would have, and he does have in the comics. Then you got here, it actually articulates as well too, I did not know that, so there's that. So you can have an open, or closed, which is pretty cool. Then you got that little sculpture design here with the red outline. And that's something I don't want to talk about because this red outline looks fantastic. You got a big shoulder, big bicep. Look at the gauntlet. Just look at that massive gauntlet. Look at that. I think it's huge, very thick. And I like how it has that looks like it's actually all used and so forth. It looks really good. And look at that arm pieces right here too on his hand, the spikes. Then you got the glossy on his hand. Come on, that looks fantastic. Just look at that. That looks badass. And again, something that McFarlane would make. This just looks so damn good. Just look at that. More sculpture design there. Perfect example right here again. Your sculpture design. But unfortunately, though, that glossy black makes it look very messy, so you can't really see it too well. Then you got the huge Batman logo on the front, which looks nice. I like how it's matte. I like that because everything else you can see, and you can see it right there perfectly, where it's all shiny, glossy black, and then you have that red, the matte red. I think having that red outline and it's matte is perfect because, again, having the red outline, anything that's red, like glossy red, it would have been too much. But I think having it that red matte with the black glossy, it looks really well, and it blends in very well. Just look at all that detail. Just look at that. Really good looking sculpture design. Just unfortunately in the back door right here, that glossy black, it's a bit of a disservice, but it looks good nonetheless. Then you got here in the right arm, the wrist, excuse me, more of that armor, the huge gauntlet, the big shoulder piece right here, just looks fantastic. And you got the utility belt on there. It just stops right here. It's kind of weird, but it's all good nonetheless. And I gotta say, this is a good looking figure. It looks badass. More sculpture design there. You got here looking like it's going to be like revenge and so forth. Then you got the holes on here for the wings. And the wings, you put them on pretty darn simple. You can see that right there. There's the nipple right there. There you go. Put it in there. But man, this is a good looking Batman figure. It looks ridiculous and over the top. But this is something that McFarlane would do. And I really, really, really like this figure. Let's take a look at the lower body. Again, similar to the shoulders, you get the huge, huge knee pads on there. Look at that, huge knee pads on there. And you got that paint on there. Hopefully my camera can pick it up. There you go. More of that red outline, the sculpture design. Also here on the side, a weird sculpture design, but it looks damn sweet. More textured right here underneath. But again, as I mentioned, the glossiness, some of the glossiness, it looks good, but it's a little too much right here. It just looks a bit messy. You got more sculpture design here on the feet. You got more of that air vent similar to the upper body right there. Also present on the legs. You can see that right there. And it just looks fantastic, man. This is a good looking figure. And the more sculpture design here on the side, on the front. Just look at those knee pads. Just pop out, man. That looks so damn good. Then you got the feet on there too. Come on, camera, pick it up. There we go. My camera's not picking it up. I apologize. New camera, so I'm testing it out, so bear with me. But man, just look at all of this texture design on here. Fantastic looking figure, man. McFarlane did a really good job with this figure, and it looks damn sweet. And when you look at it as a whole, just looks menacing, looks beefy, and just grabs your attention. This is one of those figures, when you have it display with your other figures, everyone's going to be like, what the hell is that? And when you have the wings, kind of like back there, again, people are going to say, what the hell is that, man? It's a cool looking Batman figure. And McFarlane nailed this figure. The size, the texture to it, the paint job. Yes, some parts is a little messy, but apart from that, it looks fantastic. And I'm really, 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 really like this figure. And I'm really glad I got it for a good retail price for it. So, of course, the main question is it worth it? Should you go out and get this figure? Definitely, yes, get this figure. But I would say get it for no more than probably $30 at most. I say that because this is an older figure. This came out in 2020, so it's 3 years old now. So getting this figure for retail price is going to be kind of hard to get. So if you can get it for about no more than $30, I think you're fine. Anything else above that, I just think It's too much for it. You can get the gold one, which I'll talk about in a bit, for probably still retail, I believe, on Amazon. I could be wrong, though. Don't quote me on that. But apart from the price, for a price of $20, yes, fantastic deal. If you could pay no more than $30, you're good to go. But for retail price, fantastic deal. Definitely recommend getting it. Apart from the price or what I think about the figure, I absolutely love the figure. The size, the color, the paint, the armor, everything about it just looks menacing and mean, and it looks fantastic. Just by itself, I can only imagine how it's going to look even with the wings. So overall, what does the Batman HellBat Suit get? I give it a thumbs up for me. Definitely recommend getting this figure. Here we have the Batman HellBat Gold Edition, and of course the regular one. They both look good, and I wanted to bring both of them because essentially they are both the same figure. The main difference, of course, is just going to be the paint and a different card. But apart from that, everything else is the same. The detail, the sculpture design, not the paint, but the gold paint obviously is different. But everything else is going to be practically the same. So if you're wondering which one's better, which do you prefer, or which do I prefer, excuse me, I'm going to go for the black one just because Batman usually wears something more darker like black. Don't get me wrong, I like this, and I think having the gold one is damn sweet. And having a display, just like this one, when you have a display with the wings all open like how it is now, people are going to be like, what the heck is that? Again, it's one of those figures that when you have a display like this, full wings, it looks fantastic. And yeah, so I wanted to show you these two figures side by side, because essentially they're the same, but like I said, the main difference is going to be the paint, but also you can kind of see how it looks like having the full wings spread out. Here we have Batwing next to the HellBat Suit Batman. They both look good, fantastic looking Batwing. I like the sculpture design, but as I mentioned on that video for this figure, the paint job, it's a bit of a disservice because there's so much texture to the figure, but unfortunately having this paint job, like a really bright paint job, it overshadows the sculpture design. You can't really appreciate it until you see it up close. Similar to this one where the sculpture design is there, but having that glossy black can be a little too much some parts to where it looks messy and it overshadows the texture of it. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. I like both of them. They look really good, but the paint job on this one's a little too much. Here, the black gloss is a little too much. But nonetheless, so here we have the Bat Armor, HellBat Armor, next to Batwing. Here we have Batman next to the Batman Armor, the HellBat. Fantastic looking Batman. Looks really, really nice. Very simple, classic looking, but McFarlane nailed that look of Batman, a classic looking Batman. And of course, you got a beef up Batman on here. Just look at the difference. You got a normal Batman, but when you piss him off, he's going to wear something like this. So you better watch out. So here we have the HellBat Armor Batman next to the Batman Nightfall. If you're going to be talking about Batman with like an armor-ish per se with wings, you got to talk about Fulcum on here. This is the Fulcum Mega Fig. So we have Batman on there, a little bit of the Flash, Green Lantern. You have Superman on there, Aquaman. You got everything on here in one figure, one huge Mega Fig next to a regular Batman armor. I just wanted to show you how these two figures look side by side. They both look good, but of course the Mega Fig definitely in size is much bigger, more detail, but they both look sweet nonetheless. And I want to show you how these two look side by side and also to the height difference so you can kind of get an idea. So once again, this is Fulcum Mega Fig next to the HellBat Armor. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me on this figure? To plan and purchase this figure? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to know and support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. This includes an overview of the Batman HellBat Suit, and on to the next one.